Let's solve part C now. So suppose that these guys can insure themselves against the loss of the income after the snake bites them, and he must pay a premium for that insurance. Now, if he gets bitten, then he receives a payment of 4 from the insurance company. Show that an insured bamboo cutter does not take precautions. Meaning, we want to show that the expected utility of having an insurance is higher without precautions than with precautions. In other words, we must compare two cases: expected utility of insurance and precautions versus the expected utility of having an insurance and without precautions. So no precautions over here. Now, how can we do that? Well, we'll do that one by one. So first of all, let's see what is the expected utility of taking an insurance and also taking precautions. We have the expected utility of taking precautions. What's going to happen now is that because we are paying an insurance, we have a loss of that payment. We must pay a premium P, meaning that the income is going to decrease by that premium. But even though we pay the premium, the income would be 4 euros in both cases, because no matter what happens, the insurance pays us back the 4 euros. So let's see how that's going to work out. The expected utility, we said we're going to calculate now the expected utility of having an insurance and also having precautions. Now, with that said, we're going to use this formula over here. So we would have 2 times the square root of the income in the bad case. Well, the income in the bad case is that the snake bites us. But if the snake bites us and we pay, what do we pay? We pay the premium, then we would get from the insurance 4 euros, like the insurance pays us 4 euros, right? We will have 4 euros no matter what. But we have to pay the premium for the insurance. So minus the premium, minus P. That would be the case of being bitten, right? This is bitten. Now with the remaining probability, and we saw that's going to be, let me just change colors real quick. We saw that's going to be this one over here, 6 times the square root of having a good income. Well, the good income is equal to 4 euros. That's what we saw even in the previous video. So we would have 6 times the square root of 4, but again, we're paying for the insurance, so we must take into account that payment. So minus P as well. Minus P, and as always, because we are taking precautions, we're having a utility loss of 1 unit. So we have the minus 1 from here. So that's going to be minus 1. Now, if we solve the math over here, what do we have? Well, we have an addition of the same terms, square root of 4 minus P, and the coefficients are 2 and 6, meaning that we can add 2 plus 6. So we will get as a result 8 times this common term, which is square root of 4 minus P, and then minus the loss in utility, minus 1. That would be the expected utility of taking the insurance and also taking precautions. Now, we're going to do the second case. What if we take insurance but we do not take precautions? So let's see what would be the result in there. Over here, we're going to calculate the expected utility of taking insurance but no precautions. So no precautions, meaning that we will keep the second scenario in mind. So this relationship over here. Now let's substitute some values. We would have 4 times the square root of having a bad income, meaning that we would be bitten. If we are bitten and we pay a premium for the insurance, we get 4 euros back. So we would have square root of 4 minus P. Hope this makes sense. So we would have over here 4 times the square root of 4 minus P. That's the case of being bitten. We're going to write here underneath to know what we're doing. That's the case of being bitten. And the remaining probability, we saw the remaining probability over here is 4 times the square root of having a good income. And the good income is 4 euros as well. But we're still paying the premium. We're still paying the premium for the insurance. So we're still paying the insurance over here, meaning that we would have 4 times the square root of the good income, which is 4, but taking into account the premium for the insurance. Because we're not taking any precautions, it means we don't have any utility loss. So that would be the final result. Now again, we're adding the same terms, square root of 4 minus P, and we have the coefficients 4 plus 4. Well, 4 plus 4 is 8, so we would have 8 times square root of 4 minus P. What can we notice here? Well, we can see that the expected utility of taking an insurance and taking precautions, which we calculated before, is smaller than the expected utility of taking an insurance and not taking precautions. It's smaller by 1 unit. So at the end of the day, the guy is gonna take the insurance but no precautions. plus no precautions. Now, this is the math to prove it, but what's the intuition? What's the common sense here? The idea is this, that with insurance, you don't really have to take care. That's a problem of this moral hazard thing. So you're insured, you don't have to behave, because whatever happens, you are covered. That's the idea, and that's what this equation is showing us. Hope this makes sense. In the next video, we go to part D.